Hi. Today we're not on our typical range. We're at one of our training facilities so that I don't have to deal with a foot of snow on the ground, and here the temperature's a balmy 30 degrees, not the 15 degrees that I'm accustomed to. And what we're talking about today is the concept that if you sight in a handgun with high velocity ammunition, so it's point of aim, point of impact, and then switch out your ammo to significantly lower velocity ammunition, that it will hit higher on the target. Now obviously, if you're going to shoot a long distance, like 100 yards with a handgun, that lower velocity ammunition will have more drop and hit lower. But there are people of the opinion that at short ranges, like 10 or 20 yards, the lower velocity ammunition will hit higher. Why? Well, the way it's been explained to me over the years is that what's happening is, if you take a handgun like this Ruger 357 Magnum, and you sight it in with 357 Magnum ammunition, when you shoot it, the hammer falls, detonates your primer, ignites your powder, and the bullet starts traveling down the barrel. The bullet spends some amount of time in the barrel, thousandths of a second, but still some time. And while it travels down the barrel, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, so it starts the recoil process. And by the time the bullet exits the muzzle, your handgun is pointed at a slightly up angle. Sighting it in takes this into consideration. But then if you switch to lower velocity ammo, like 38 special ammo, which depending on which ammo you buy can have a velocity of 4, 5, even 600 feet per second less than your 357 ammo, then that bullet spends more time in the barrel. Again, thousandths of a second more, but still more. And so while it's traveling down the barrel, there's more time for more recoil to occur, and so the muzzle is at a greater upward angle by the time it finally exits the barrel, causing it to hit higher on the target. Now that makes sense, but there's some questions, such as, does 38 special ammo hit in a different place than 357 ammo, provided you have it sighted in for your 357 ammo? If so, will it hit higher? If it hits higher, is that the phenomena that's causing it? Well, here's what we'll do. I'll go back 15 yards, and I'll shoot this target with 357 Magnum ammunition, switch out to 38 special ammo, and see if it hits in a different place. So we'll shoot from 15 yards, and the ammunition I'm going to start with is Remington green and white box 357 Magnum 125 grain bullet. So we see we're pretty much point of aim, point of impact. I got one out, but that's just me. Now let's reload with 38 special and see how I do. Now we're loaded with Remington green and white box 38 special plus P 125 grain bullet. So how'd we do? Well, the group certainly isn't any higher. If anything, it's lower and a little bit to the right. That's an interesting result. Now let's try a different kind of ammunition, and I'll shoot the other target. Now we'll shoot this Federal American Eagle 38 Special, not plus P, just 38 Special, 158 grain round nose lead bullet. And I'll shoot the target on the right. So how'd we do? Well, with our .357 Magnum ammunition, we're basically on. But with one type of .38, we hit low and a little to the right. And with the other type of .38, we hit just a little bit high and maybe a little to the left. So it would appear that when you switch to .38 ammo, rather than the lower velocity making it hit higher, it seems that different ammunition will make some guns hit in different places. So let me get a different .357 Magnum revolver, put up some new targets, repeat this drill, and see how the results compare. So now we'll try the same drill with a different gun. This is a Ruger GP100 .357 Magnum with a 2 1/4 inch barrel. And again, we'll shoot from 15 yards. And we'll start with our target on the left with the .357 Magnum ammunition. Now this comes with a disclaimer. This is a good handgun. But personally, I really don't like it. I don't like the grip, I don't like the sights, I don't like the trigger pull. I don't expect my groups to be as good this time as they were the first time, but hopefully they'll still be diagnostic. So with the Remington .357 Magnum ammunition, that group is fairly well centered. Now I've got this revolver loaded with the Remington Green and White Box .38 Special Plus P. I'll go back to 15 yards again, shoot this same target, and see if that affects the location of our group. So how'd we do? Well, with the exception of this flyer, and that's just me, it doesn't appear to have changed our point of impact at all. Now, people will argue that with this short-barreled revolver, there isn't much difference between .357 and .38 Special. No. With the ammunition I'm using, the .38 Special ammo has a velocity about 400 feet per second less than the .357 does, so that's a significant difference. Now let's try that American Eagle ammunition. We'll shoot our other target and see how that does. And how'd we do? We see that we're hitting maybe just a little bit high and a little bit to the right. And of course, that one's just me. But what's the real bottom line of all of this? Well, with the Security 6, we saw that when we switched to the Remington .38 Specials, we hit just a little low and to the right. As where in the GP100, there's no significant difference in the group at all. And again, with the Federal American Eagle ammunition, with the Security 6, we saw just a little high and maybe to the left, and with the GP100, we're just a little high and maybe to the right. So I think rather than making the blanket statement that .38 Specials, when shot from a .357 Magnum, will pattern high, what we're really seeing here is that when you significantly change your ammunition, you may very well, in some guns to some degree, change your point of impact. So as always, don't try this at home on what you call a professional, and thanks for watching the .38 shot out of a .357 Magnum video.